do I pull data on what events are firing on a specific page?
That was my question. Yeah, clicks, user behavior, and what the most common click item is on that page.
The first thing to look for is what event properties do you implement with your event tracking plan, right? So if this is one of the primary use case, then you would want to check for an event property called page URL or page name with each of the event that you are trying to send. Now, once you have that property instrumented, you can easily add a filter and see what events are getting fired on a particular URL or a particular page name. So you create a chart as what we are looking at last time. You apply a filter on page URL and you can just group by an event name property, which is available out of the box when you are trying to open any sort of analysis, and you can easily see a distribution or comparison of what are the different events that are getting fired on specific URLs or pages and how are their volume comparing against each other. Basically, this is a demo environment. You create a segmentation chart. The prerequisite here is you need to have a page URL property implemented with every event so that you know what event is occurring on which URL. So you have this page URL property selected and you select for a specific one. So I'm just going to select Amplitude homepage, and then you group by this event name out of the box property. Right now we don't have a lot in this demo environment, but if you have, let's say, 10 different events, you will see them grouped by 10 different events. You can change the view of the chart to part of a bar chart over the course of 7 days. But yeah, essentially this is how you will process it, right? So right now we just have one event type instrumented in this demo environment. If you have, let's say, 5, you will see 5 different bars and you can compare how many unique users are interacting with each of the events. If you change the metric to event totals, that answers the specific question that you were asking on a specific URL, how many times a specific event is getting triggered.
Would you be able to flip over to Amplitude Data real quick and we can show, if you're not sure or don't want to go through doing the debugging, you could also come in, and if you're already in the Amplitude UI, you could just come into here where you have your event taxonomy, be able to pull up a specific event and knowing within either site way how they're related. So if you're saying I got a page viewed event, you could then know here how your team's tracking it and what's being tracked in that context. This is another great place as you bring data in, making sure you have the definitions defined, making sure the properties are there and knowing what's required and what's not. So the more context you put into here, the easier you can actually see this in the UI and charts, where if you hover over the event, you'll see actually the definition. So you're getting that context as you're trying to make that chart near real time.